I'm Lauren Green for FoxNews.com. The search for missing AirAsia Flight 8501 may have received a boost Monday after an Indonesian official said that Australian planes had spotted objects in the Java Sea search area. Well, joining us to give his expertise is former airline pilot Captain Tom Bunn, who is also founder of SOAR Inc. Welcome to you, Tom.
Thank you, Lauren.
Well, it has been a couple of days now since the jet went missing. How crucial are these next few hours?
I'm thinking about Air France that went down, and it took them a couple of years to find it. Yeah, if they can find some debris before it spreads out too much, before it disappears, before it sinks, that will be very helpful.
At this point, even if it's sinking, there's no possibility that anybody survived that.
It certainly wouldn't seem so, no.
Okay. The plane was going through rough weather. Now, how big a factor is that?
Well, we have always thought of airliners, not just recent ones, but always, as being able to handle anything that Mother Nature can dish out. And if we have finally run into something that is not something an airplane can handle, that would be really an exception. Let's see other planes in the same area at the same time. In fact,
the pilot wanted to climb to a higher altitude, and there was somebody right above it in the way. So why then would one plane have trouble and others not?
That brings up an interesting point, because why wouldn't they give them an alternative path if they were having trouble in the area they were? Even if the plane was higher, why wouldn't they give them some kind of alternative path they could take that was better?
Well, the captain does have emergency authority, and if you're the pilot and you say, look, you guys, I know that you don't want to give me clearance, but I have to move to go around this storm, and you're going to have to deal with it. Now, that might mean that he doesn't necessarily climb. He could go left or right. And because if it was really difficult, and this is a hard thing for me to say, because it may be difficult for the passengers. It shouldn't be difficult for the pilot of the plane.
The recent news, they just found floating objects in an oil slick. Are these the definitive clues that will point to this is where the plane is, or will they be looking for other clues? Well,
you're going to have to figure that this is approximately where the plane is. Of course, there's wind and ocean currents that are moving what's on the surface at some other location than where the plane debris would be found. But that can be figured out. That can be calculated.
What does it tell you when you hear that there was no distress call? What does that tell you?
That doesn't mean anything. If you've got a problem, you've got to deal with it. You're not going to call up air traffic control and say, hey, I'm going to do a little tweet here and say, we're in a desperate situation and I've got my hands full, but I thought I'd just call and tell you that. No, you've got to deal with the problem.
Yeah. So do you know if this part of the world is really a tough place to fly through?
No, there's not any part of the world that's tough to fly through. You have around the equator some bigger thunderstorms than you have in some other places, but they are still not a problem that you can't deal with.
All right, Captain Tom Bunn, thank you so much for your expertise. And for more on this developing story, stay with FoxNews.com. I'm Lauren Green, and thanks for watching.